Hello beautiful people. Well, it's here. Tiny Tales 1, Tiny Tales 2, here we have Tiny Tales 3, an anthology of ridiculous tales. As you can see, it's full of fun things. I'm going to do a quick flip through just to show you what's inside. Now with Tiny Tales Volume 1 and 2, it was a compilation of little pictures which were just heaps of fun and quick to colour. This is a little bit different because this is a collection of little stories. So I'm just going to flip you through it. And here it is. Fun little cover, the peach colour. Picture of a little elephant. And here's a bird, snake, little monster bugs. Well, let's have a look inside. We start out with our book belongs to page, which is just really an excuse to draw this really cool fun border. And then we're on to the publishing information, and here's a little explanation of what's inside. So this is a collection of 4 stories: Elephant's Toenails, Monsters Week, or Monster Week, Tiger Tales, and No Snow This Christmas. So it's still a low stress, quick colouring fix. It's still a pocket book, but each page is accompanied by a little story that goes with it. So let's have a look. Elephant's Toenails is our first story. Elephant's Toenails, a pachyderm problem. I'm going to read the poems out to you, just because it makes more sense for the pictures then. So that's a story about elephants. And here we have the first page. When elephants need to trim their nails, do they use the garden shears? It's a question I've always needed the answer to, and I still don't know. But I imagine that in the 9 Lives salon, with our little cat here who's looking a little bit overwhelmed, that new tools may be necessary. Here we have our little elephant reclining, being pampered. And I think the mayhem is just beginning. Do elephants out on dinner dates wear earrings in their ears? Well, another perennial question that remains still unanswered. But I imagine they would. As you can see from this scene, it makes sense. And now this is the colour along I'm going to be doing from this book for March, the March Colour Club pack. And I'm really looking forward to that. We're still on elephants. If elephants go to the beach for a day, will they surf all the biggest waves? Well, of course they will. And I think my favourite thing is this little guy in the background being spat out the back of a wave. And I'm not sure these people lying innocently on the beach are going to be there for much longer if the size of this wave is anything to go by. Another favourite thing on this page, of course, is this guy wearing his board shorts. It's so fun. Of course, elephants playing the cello know how a pachyderm should behave. And he's really feeling the notes, isn't he? I think this is a gazebo in a park. It's obviously performing. And this page makes me laugh every time I open it. When elephants dance the tango at night, do their noses get tangled and give them a fright? Well, yes, I'd imagine that their noses would get tangled. And if elephants drive on the freeway, can they turn left or only turn right? So many questions, guys. And here we just have a fun excuse to draw lots of little critters driving their cars. With a confused looking elephant. Can he turn right? No right turn. What's going on? No! Also, the road designers and the traffic engineers of whoever engineered this is probably needs to get his license reviewed. Do elephants from the jungle ever visit their friends in the zoo? Well, here's my jungle elephants. Here's our zoo elephants. I'm not sure. I don't think that the jungle elephants would be able to visit their friends in the zoo without being put into the zoo. And if visiting Buckingham Palace, would an elephant know what to do? Well, he seems to know what to do. He's wearing a kilt. That's a start. But there do seem to be some priceless vases being knocked carelessly about. Here's our king. Elephants' trunks are funny. Elephants' ears are big. Elephants like to snore loud in bed. Sleep well, little sleepyhead. Now, I did write this poem a little while ago. Now it's included in the Tiny Tales Volume 3 Anthology of Ridiculous Tales. We're on to our next poem. This poem is called Monster Week, and it's a cautionary tale. I think all tales that involve monsters really become cautionary tales, don't they? And I've drawn a different introductory page for each of the stories, and I'm quite enjoying this one with its little Venus flytraps and snakes and dragons and these crazy bugs. You've always got to have a tentacled monster, don't you, when you're doing monsters? Anyway, let's get into the story. Monday's monster's eyes are red. He struggles to get out of bed. There could be some reasons for that. And these empty bottles may give us a clue. as to why he's struggling to get out of bed. A fun little morning scene for a monster. He's turning his alarm clock off, his friend's visiting, his love potion's ready to go. His cat seems to be a little bit wary. And I do question his cleanliness with his mushrooms growing. Nevertheless, Tuesday's monster howled all night and gave poor Mrs. Jones a fright. Wednesday's monster owns 5 cats and often hangs around with bats. And here we have a little dude, like a vampire, with his bats and his cats, and his little notes on potions or something down here. It is a cautionary tale, guys, so gotta beware. Thursday's monster joined a choir, then set the organ pipes on fire. The little guy playing the piano or playing the organ is so involved in the music that he's not even aware that his little organ is being burned to the ground by this bearded dragon. Friday's monster learned to fly, to chase the birds around the sky. Well, of course he wants to chase the birds around the fire. Look at him. On Saturday, the monsters play at carnivals and circus games. Roll up, roll up. On Sunday, they go out to brunch, then eat the maitre d' for lunch. It doesn't look like he's that worried yet, but I think I'd be calling in sick on Sundays. Monsters who have many eyes need lots of tissues when they cry. There's a lot of crying going on here. Hopefully they've got enough tissues. There's a spare box over here. When some monsters clean their teeth, they need someone to help them. It's a friendly monster. It's got a lot of help. Got a lot of helpers. Got a lot of toothpaste. Look at that brush. Monsters riding bicycles should always mind their tentacles. Well, you can't really have a story about monsters without a tentacled monster, can you? And if you're a tentacled, you would really want to be watching out for your extremities, wouldn't you, as you ride along? Always drawing the penny farthings, aren't I? Washing hair is fine for you. Monsters use too much shampoo. There's this cool little monster with his pirate hat having a bath. Their rubber ducks don't look all that excited about the situation. When monsters play the violin, don't tell them it's an awful din. Just ask them for a lullaby and leave while they are sleeping. Yes. A monster in the cupboard, one under the bed, wherever they are hiding. I hope that they're well fed. This was just an exercise to see how many monsters I could fit into one tiny little page. I hope hit a few. See if you can find them all. Well, it's the end of Monsters Week. Oh, now we're into Tiger Tales, a ferocious fable. All of these are just so fun. Well, this is a little story about tigers. Once again, it's in verse, so bear with me. If there were 2 tigers' tails travelling on a train, surely there would be tigers attached. I shouldn't have to explain. Tigers only have 1 tail, unless they are tigers that natter. Tigers on trains don't tell many tales due to the noisy clatter. So we're about tigers on a train. They seem to still be telling tales. Don't be confused by a snake family or flamingos wearing neck warmers. Don't let the leaves of a popinjay tree confuse you and muddy the water. And we have a little scene where we've got stripy tigers, we've got neck warmers on our flamingos, which are striped, and we've got our stripy snakes, and our stripy trees, and parrots, all sorts of going on in there. For if you see a tiger tail, you'll know there's a tiger attached. And if you count 11 tails, no doubt it's a soccer match. And here we have our little tiger soccer match. All sorts going on here. There seem to be a few too many balls on the field. Someone's been given a card. Lots of people who are down for the count. Oh my God. All firemen know the difference when putting out a fire between a fire hose and a tiger's tail. Some of them need assistance. When roadworks slow your travel and signs are all around, make sure you count the tiger's tails just to be safe and sound. And this is a fun little scene with a guy driving through the roadworks, and once again there's stripy tigers, there's stripy roadwork signs, there's all sorts of places that make tigers hard to see. Stripy witches' hats. When tiger children go to school, it's very hard to see them, so count their tails to find them all. You wouldn't want to miss one. And there are some children hidden in this page. If you go to the jungle swing from tree to tree, be sure the vines you swing from are green and mostly stripe-free. Now, this isn't a recommendation, guys. You don't have to go to the jungle and swing from tree to tree, but if you do, there are some precautions you should take, because this ferocious fable is also a precautionary tale. Tigers at the market don't use the shopping trolley. They hide in the shelves and play tiger games. Shopping to tigers is folly. And once again, be careful when you're shopping, guys, because you never know. There's all sorts of tigers. You should pay attention when swimming at the pool. Don't think you're out of danger. Tigers think swimming is cool. If you go to the barber, he'll want to cut your hair. Sometimes that is hard for him because of the tigers there. If ever a tiger invites you to lunch, or worse, invites you to dinner, make sure you wear your tiger tail and never ever linger. She's got a little invite there. Come to lunch, 11 a.m. These guys look like they're prepared. I think this is the last page of our tiger tails. Tigers' tails are stripy and most are in the zoo, though some like travelling on trains and having lunch with you. I was quite fond of this little page. With a train called Finn. And actually, let's have a look. Le tigre, sauvage et feroce. No snow this Christmas. Right, so you guys may remember that just before Christmas I released a book called Winter Wonder, and there was a little bit of a kickback from people who live on the Southern Hemisphere saying, why, as a person who lives in Australia, are you writing about cold weather Christmases and drawing snowy scenes? And so I have actually written stories about Australian Christmases, and this is one of them. This is called No Snow This Christmas, an Aussie lament. You see all our little creatures, our koala, our cockatoo, here's a little possum, fairy wren, lots of little gum nuts and gum leaves, and of course blowflies. Let's get into it. One cranky kookaburra wakes you up at 3:30. 2 Tasmanian devils are dancing in the street. Here's another page that cracks me up every time I see it. Look at these guys dancing. They look like they're doing modern jazz or something, don't they? I can just hear the music. And Tasmanian devils, of course, are in Tasmania. And this is I tried to recreate a street from Hobart with Tasmanian devils dancing down it during the night. I gave you guys a lamp to, I don't know if you want to do some sort of cool light stuff with that page. Anyway, let's keep going with our poem. 3 rainbow lorikeets are wearing fancy hats, and the expression on these guys' faces, I think, makes this page. Of course, there is the excuse to throw in all the colours of a rainbow lorikeet. 4 men with mowers are mowing out the back, and I tried to include all the class of mowers in the backyard view here. I've got the rotary mower, I've got the guy who is not really that committed to his mowing. We've got the guy who's mowing happily, but probably because he's had 3 beers. And then this looks like the professional guy who's got the right safety gear and doing the job properly. 5 fat flying foxes flogging fruit from farms. Well, Christmas time in Australia, all of the mangoes are coming into season. They're ripe. They're at the shops. And of course, there's a constant battle with farmers to try and save all their beautiful fruit from the great flocks of flying foxes that come and try and steal it. But I think the flying foxes are happy about the fact that there are so many fruit trees available. Not the farmers, though. 6 politicians are making up some yarns. And once again, I tried to include all of the different political parties in this. See if you can pick which one's which. 7 sharks are eating you because of global warming. This page might not be for everyone, but it is an issue. 8 fairy penguins came visiting this morning. I did enjoy drawing this page. Quite liked all of the little fairy penguins, but I think adding the name tags added just a little bit of menace to this page. And the little neighbour in the background who's shocked. 9 hungry crocodiles are staring straight at you. 10 pinkish prawns are dancing on the barbecue. And yeah, we've got 10. I don't think we need any more prawns on the barbie. Some of them seem to be playing in like a mariachi band. They all dance. I'm quite fond of this page. Little flames around the barbecue plate. 11 noisy cockatoos are playing backyard cricket, which of course is a sport everyone plays around Christmas time when all your family gets together. You drag out the cricket gear and everyone has a little bit of a bash. Even the people who may have imbibed too many drinks. Fun. 12 tired reindeer need more than just one biscuit. It's always been my question. You know how you leave a cookie and a drink for Santa? How is it on earth going to feed all of these reindeers? That's the question being asked in this page. That's the end. It's like my 12 days of Christmas. Instead of a partridge in a pear tree, I've got the Australian version of it. And that's the end. The end of the book, guys. But there's a little bit more, because I did do the little insets on the pages. So I collected the ones I thought were the best and just gave you a little collection of curious objects in the back of the book, in case you'd like to colour those. And that's the end of Tiny Tales, Volume 3. I'm really happy with this book. It brought me so much joy to draw. I can't wait to colour it. I can't wait to see what you guys think of it and whether you are going to get into it, whether you like the stories, whether you like the pages. So let me know in the comments. And yeah, this guy is out now, ready for sale. It's on Amazon. Links are below. Links are from rjhampson.com. Even if you don't have Tiny Tales Volume 1 or Tiny Tales Volume 2, Tiny Tales Volume 3 is just a tad different. So if you do have these two, then you probably need this one just to keep your collection intact. Well, there it is, guys. Tiny Tales Volume 3 out now, ready to go. Grab your copy and get colouring. Once again, the pages are a little bit simple. I've drawn them at that size so that they're not shrunk down from a large size. So everything should be really easily colourable. And once again, it's not a massive page for you to colour. There's just little bits you can pick out and colour when you've got the time. Well, that's it. The end of Tiny Tales 3. Go and grab your copy. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will no doubt see you in another video, but for now, I'm going to say goodbye. See you later.